Have you ever wondered why love is both the most beautiful and the most confusing thing in life? Why do some relationships stay strong forever, while others break apart despite the best efforts? Have you ever felt like talking to someone, especially him, becomes a challenge? Whether it's a casual meeting or an important conversation, creating a comfortable and natural space is key to deepening the relationship. But how do you keep the conversation from becoming awkward? What's the secret to making every conversation more than just a question and answer exchange? Let's explore effective ways to talk easily and naturally with anyone, especially him. Welcome to Sophia's Knowledge, and I'm Sophia. This is the place where each story, every lesson about love, will help you find the answers. Today, we'll take a fresh look at the topic 7 ways to talk to anyone, especially him. These are not just empty words, but practical experiences and profound lessons that will change the way you see love. Stay with Sophia, because the most surprising and exciting things are yet to come. Before we begin, find a quiet place, put on your headphones, and relax your mind. Let the insights in this video help you experience and enjoy every meaningful moment. Are you ready to start this journey? Let's go. Ways 1. Listen actively, the secret to building strong relationships. Active listening is not just staying silent when someone else speaks, but actively engaging in the conversation. Especially when talking to someone important, like him, the ability to listen helps you build a strong, deep, and trusting relationship. Active listening not only helps you understand the other person better, but also shows respect and care for them. So, how do you listen actively and effectively? Many people think listening is a natural skill they already possess, but in reality, it's a skill that needs to be practiced and improved. When you're talking to him, you may have conflicting thoughts, such as worrying about how to continue the conversation or thinking about what you want to share. However, when you learn to control those thoughts and truly focus on what the other person is saying, you'll enhance your listening skills. Tip: relax and give your full attention to the speaker. Let your thoughts and anxieties about yourself temporarily fade into the background. Listening is not just about hearing words, it's also about using body language to show attention and respect. Eye contact, posture, hand gestures, or head nods can all reflect your focus on the conversation. By maintaining eye contact and avoiding looking at your phone or elsewhere, you help him feel that you genuinely care about what he's saying. Body language plays an essential role in creating a comfortable space for the other person. When you sit comfortably, look toward him, and occasionally nod, these actions will create a positive atmosphere, encouraging him to share more. Tip: when talking, avoid looking at your phone or observing your surroundings too much. Let him feel that he's the center of your attention. One way to show you're actively listening is to ask the right questions at the right moment. Questions don't just help you understand what he's sharing, but also demonstrate a deep level of care. Asking questions helps keep the conversation lively and evolving, rather than just a series of simple answers. When he shares an experience or thought, instead of just nodding, you can ask additional questions to clarify or expand the topic. This not only makes him feel valued, but also helps you maintain a meaningful conversation. Tip: try asking, "Can you tell me more about that?" or "How did you feel at that moment?" to prompt him to share more. One common mistake when listening is the urge to give your own opinion or share a personal story immediately after the other person finishes speaking. However, this can make the other person feel interrupted and disrespected. Active listening doesn't mean you have to remain silent, but make sure you understand and empathize with what he's saying before you share your thoughts. Resist the urge to tell your own stories or experiences unless they are truly relevant to his story. Otherwise, let him have the space to continue sharing. Tip: before responding, take a moment to think about what he just said. This will help you come up with a more thoughtful and appropriate response. Sometimes, when talking to him, you may feel too excited or have ideas pop up immediately. However, interrupting the other person before they finish can cause discomfort and a lack of respect. To create an effective conversational space, be patient and wait for him to finish his point. Tip: be patient and wait for him to finish his story. Afterward, you can share your thoughts, but always remember that respect will make the conversation more enjoyable. Listening is not just about hearing words, but also about sensing the emotions behind them. Sometimes, he may not clearly express his feelings, but through his tone, gestures, or eye contact, you can understand how he truly feels. Recognizing his emotions will help you respond more delicately and appropriately. Tip: pay attention to nonverbal cues like tone changes, pauses in the conversation, or body language to better understand his emotions. Once you've listened and fully understood what he's sharing, provide a sincere response. This not only shows that you're attentive, but also deepens the conversation. Your response could be a compliment, a sharing of your own feelings, or an open-ended question that invites him to share more. Tip: remember, your response doesn't need to be complicated or lengthy. A simple statement like "I find that very interesting too" is enough to create a deeper connection. In the end, active listening is an indispensable skill in building a healthy, long-lasting relationship. Especially when you're talking to him, practicing active listening helps you not only understand him better, but also shows you're attentive and caring. By applying these tips, you'll be able to create a meaningful, genuine, and engaging conversation. What do you think about this? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and discuss further. Don't forget to like if you found this content helpful and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on future insights. Thank you so much. Let's keep going together. Way 2. Share personal opinions. How to connect and leave a mark in conversations. Sharing personal opinions is one of the key elements that makes a conversation more interesting and profound. Especially when conversing with someone important like him, sharing opinions not only helps express yourself, but also opens up opportunities to understand each other better. However, how you communicate your opinions is very important because it can either create a strong connection or, conversely, make the conversation tense and lacking understanding. So, how can you effectively share your personal opinions while maintaining respect and connection? One of the key factors when sharing opinions is choosing the right timing. Never rush to share your opinion when the other person is expressing their views. Listening attentively before expressing your own opinion will help you better understand the other person and create an open space for a more comfortable conversation. Share your opinion at the appropriate moments when he is ready to listen and receptive to your thoughts. This will avoid the impression of imposing or disrespecting the other person's views. Tip: before sharing, you can say, "I think," or "from my perspective," to make the conversation feel smoother and avoid a confrontational tone. Sharing opinions doesn't mean you have to dismiss the other person's views. When you share your personal perspective, remember that everyone has their own unique viewpoints, and respecting these differences will create a friendly and open environment for conversation. If he disagrees with your opinion, don't rush to argue or try to persuade him to change his mind. Instead, share your thoughts gently and respectfully. When you respect different opinions, he will feel more comfortable sharing his views without feeling judged. Tip: use phrases like "I understand your perspective" or "that's an interesting point of view." "I have a slightly different thought" to foster a constructive conversation. To ensure your opinion is understood correctly, it is crucial to express it clearly and coherently. Don't let the conversation lose its connection just because your ideas aren't conveyed clearly enough. Use simple language, avoid being verbose or beating around the bush, so that he can easily understand your thoughts. When you present your opinion clearly, it not only helps him understand you better, but also creates an opportunity for more effective discussion. Clarity in your speech also reflects your confidence and decisiveness, which will make him respect and appreciate your opinion. Tip: start with a general statement of your opinion, then explain in detail, and conclude by reiterating your point of view. Sharing opinions without supporting reasons or evidence can make the conversation weak and unconvincing. To strengthen your opinion, provide clear reasons to demonstrate that your thoughts are reasonable. This could be from personal experiences, what you've read, or real-life examples. When you explain why you hold a particular viewpoint, he will better understand and empathize with your thinking. This also helps create a more in-depth conversation, rather than just a simple exchange of words. Tip: use phrases like according to study X, this might explain Y. Or when I went through that situation, I realized that. Everyone has their own experiences and perspectives. An important part of sharing opinions is accepting differences and trying to understand each other rather than just debating. Sometimes, you won't be able to persuade him to change his viewpoint, but that's not the ultimate goal. The goal of the conversation is to understand and respect each other's thoughts and feelings. When you accept differences and look at things from multiple perspectives, you'll find that discussions become lighter and easier. Additionally, this helps strengthen your relationship because it builds a foundation of respect and understanding. Tip: try saying, although we have differences, I think we can find common ground in this perspective. Sometimes, when sharing opinions, you may realize that you were wrong or had an incomplete view. Don't hesitate to admit this. Admitting when you are wrong not only shows humility, but also creates respect for the other person. When you share your opinion and realize that he is right, acknowledging this will make the relationship closer and more sincere. Tip: a simple phrase like "you're right, I thought about it again and see that your point of view makes more sense" will help make the conversation more relaxed and create a comfortable atmosphere. When sharing opinions, remember that the goal is not only to speak for the sake of speaking, but also to create an open space for the conversation to continue. Listen and actively expand on the topic when you see an opportunity. If he also wants to share more or has questions, create space for him to express his thoughts. Tip: I think this topic is very interesting. Do you want to share anything else? Is a subtle way to broaden the conversation. Finally, sharing personal opinions is not just about expressing your thoughts, but also a way to show respect and connection with the other person. Especially when talking to him, sharing your opinion not only helps both of you understand each other better, but also creates a stronger and closer relationship. By applying the tips above, you will not only become an interesting conversationalist, but also someone who listens and understands deeply. Ways 3. Find common ground. A bridge to create a deep connection in conversation. One of the key secrets to making a conversation interesting and easily connecting with anyone, especially him, is finding common ground. When you discover shared interests, views, or topics that both of you care about, the conversation becomes lighter and more natural. This not only creates a shared space for discussion, but also makes the relationship between the two of you more intimate and connected. One simple but highly effective way to find common ground is to start with hobbies. Whether it's music, sports, movies, or even smaller hobbies like food or travel, these interests can serve as a great bridge to begin a conversation in a relaxed and effortless way. When you discover a shared interest, the conversation will no longer feel tense, but rather a fun exchange. For example, if he loves sports and so do you, you can talk about your favorite teams, recent matches, or upcoming sports events. Or, if you both enjoy music, discussing favorite genres, songs, or prominent singers will create a comfortable and pleasant atmosphere. Finding these shared interests allows for longer conversations that aren't boring. Tip: to start, you can ask him about his hobbies, such as "Do you like listening to music?" or "Do you follow any sports?" When trying to find common ground, a great way to expand the conversation is by sharing personal stories, memories, or experiences. Ordinary stories about a memorable trip, an important life event, or an interesting situation will easily capture his interest. This not only makes the conversation more lively, but also opens up the opportunity for him to share similar experiences. For instance, you could talk about a fantastic vacation you had, where you explored new places and tried unique foods. If he enjoys traveling too, he might eagerly share his own stories, and from there, the two of you will discover common ground. These shared experiences not only build closeness, but also make the conversation more exciting. Tip: when sharing a personal story, pay attention to the other person's emotions to create empathy and a stronger connection. Another way to find common ground is by discussing real-life issues that both of you care about. These can be social issues, environmental topics, work-related matters, or hot community discussions. When you share your views on these issues and listen to his opinions, you'll notice that you both may find common ground in thinking and acting. Discussing a real issue not only helps both of you understand each other more, but also creates respect and appreciation for each other's thoughts. This demonstrates maturity in communication and interaction, making the conversation deeper and more meaningful. Tip: you can subtly guide the conversation toward topics like, do you think protecting the environment is important? Or, I find this job quite interesting, do you think so too? To effectively find common ground, you need to create a comfortable and open environment. When you appear relaxed and cheerful in the conversation, he will feel more at ease sharing his thoughts, views, and interests. This will naturally create a connection, rather than feeling forced or tense. To create an open space, you can start by sharing a part of your interests or views first and invite him to do the same. This friendly openness will make him feel more comfortable in expressing his thoughts and views. Tip: friendly gestures, like smiling and maintaining eye contact, will help create a pleasant and intimate atmosphere. Sometimes, finding common ground isn't just about sharing existing interests, but also about exploring new hobbies together. This not only helps you both discover new commonalities, but also opens up opportunities to have fresh and exciting experiences. You could try a new dish, learn a sport, or participate in an activity together. When you explore a new interest together, it will create memorable experiences and strengthen the bond between you two. These shared activities will also lead to deeper and more intimate conversations. Tip: you could suggest, do you want to try a new activity with me? Or, we could learn something new together, I think it would be fun. While finding common ground is important, sometimes, two people may not find complete agreement on every topic. In these moments, learning how to accept and respect differences is also an important common ground. When you accept differences and don't force the other person to change their views, it helps create a healthy and mature communication environment. This respect will make the conversation feel easier, without tension, and open up opportunities to find new commonalities in the future. Tip: show respect by saying, although we don't agree, I still respect your opinion. Finally, finding common ground in a conversation not only helps you and him bond, but also creates a space where both of you can feel comfortable, listened to, and understood. When both of you can share hobbies, views, or shared experiences, the relationship between you two will become deeper and more connected. Remember, the key is not just to look for common ground, but also to create space where both of you can explore and share your ideas and thoughts openly and respectfully. If you're still watching up to this moment, don't hesitate to comment, continue. Please leave your thoughts and questions below in the comments, I would love to hear your opinions, and don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel to give Sophia more motivation to create more meaningful and exciting videos. Let's continue together. Ways 4. Use body language. Secrets to making an impact in conversations. Body language is not only an essential part of communication, but also a powerful tool to establish connection and express emotions that words sometimes cannot fully convey. When talking to someone, especially him, using body language skillfully can help you convey interest, sincerity, and create an environment of mutual understanding. One of the most important elements of body language is eye contact. Eye contact is not only a way to show interest, but also a powerful tool to build a deeper connection. When communicating with him, try to maintain natural and comfortable eye contact throughout the conversation. There is no need to stare, but keeping eye contact during the conversation shows attentiveness and interest in what he is saying. Eye contact helps build trust and closeness. When you maintain eye contact, he will feel that you are paying attention and are willing to listen. Especially when you say something important or share your emotions, eye contact will help convey these feelings more strongly, making him feel your sincerity. Tip: to avoid tension, you can occasionally glance away for a moment before returning to eye contact, which helps make the conversation feel more natural. Posture reflects a lot about your emotions and attitude. If you want to create a comfortable space and easily connect with him, make sure your posture conveys openness and friendliness. Maintaining an upright posture with your shoulders relaxed and feet uncrossed will give the impression that you are ready and open. When you sit in a friendly and open posture, he will feel more at ease approaching you and sharing his feelings. On the other hand, if you adopt a closed posture, such as crossing your arms or lowering your head, it might make him feel that you are uncomfortable or unwilling to connect. Tip: when communicating, avoid crossing your arms or slouching. Instead, try to open your arms or hands to show you're ready to engage in the conversation. Smiling is one of the most powerful forms of body language, as it can relieve tension and help create a friendly, relaxed atmosphere. When you smile, especially with genuine warmth, he will feel more at ease talking to you, and you will appear more approachable. Smiling is also a great way to express optimism and positive energy, which will leave a good impression during the conversation. A gentle smile can make the conversation more enjoyable and smooth, while increasing the connection between the two of you. However, you need to be mindful of the naturalness of your smile. A forced or overly exaggerated smile can create misunderstanding or seem insincere. Tip: a gentle and natural smile can help create instant closeness. When you smile, make sure your eyes reflect the joy as well, which will make him feel your warmth. Small gestures, like nodding, waving, or pointing, can create a strong bond in a conversation. By using gestures, you make the conversation more lively and understandable. For example, when he talks about something, you can nod to show that you understand and empathize with him. This not only makes him feel heard, but also shows you are actively engaged in the conversation. Gestures can also make the conversation more dynamic and receptive. When you express agreement or surprise with your hands or small gestures, it helps emphasize your emotions and opinions. This also allows him to feel what you are experiencing and share his feelings more easily. Tip: you can use gentle gestures to clarify your points or emotions, but avoid excessive or rough gestures, as they may make the other person feel uncomfortable. Body language is not just a separate element, it needs to harmonize with words to achieve the best effect. If you are talking about something important and use body language to emphasize it, it will strengthen the sincerity and impact of your message. For instance, when you are discussing an emotional issue or sharing a personal story, using body language like a light nod, a warm gaze, or a gentle pat on the shoulder will make him feel that you truly care about what he is saying. Conversely, if your words and body language do not match, it can create discord and make it harder to convey your message. Tip: when saying something important, coordinate your body language and words so they support each other. For example, when sharing a strong emotion, you can use a gentle gesture or a deep look to emphasize it. A conversation is not just about your interactions, but also about the feedback from the other person. Reading and understanding his body language is crucial. This helps you gauge his emotions and reactions, allowing you to adjust your communication accordingly. If he shows discomfort by avoiding your gaze, crossing his arms, or stepping back, you can recognize that he might not feel comfortable with the conversation and needs some space. Tip: when he shows signs of tension or discomfort, be sure to adjust your body language to make yourself more approachable. In conclusion, body language is a powerful tool in communication, helping you convey emotions and thoughts that words sometimes cannot express. Using body language skillfully and naturally will make your conversation with him easier and deeper. By maintaining eye contact, an open and friendly posture, smiling naturally, using gestures, and coordinating body language with your words, you will create a comfortable, close, and understanding environment in your conversation. Ways 5. Avoid stressful topics. The secret to keeping conversations comfortable. One of the most important factors in creating a successful and pleasant conversation is avoiding stressful topics. When talking to someone, especially him, choosing the right topics can help maintain a harmonious atmosphere, creating comfort and connection between the two of you. Sensitive or stressful topics can decrease comfort and even lead to misunderstandings and unnecessary conflicts. In this article, we will explore how to avoid stressful topics and choose topics that make the conversation lighthearted and enjoyable. Each person has their own boundary regarding the issues they feel comfortable discussing. Some people might easily open up about work, family, or social topics, while others may feel uncomfortable talking about these matters. Particularly when conversing with him, you need to be mindful of topics he may not want to bring up. These could be personal issues, past relationships, or topics that might pressure him. To avoid stressful topics, start the conversation by choosing light, easy-to-access topics like hobbies, recent trips, or common interests both of you enjoy. When you notice he doesn't want to share more about a certain topic, switch to another subject that makes him feel more comfortable. Tip: you can listen for nonverbal cues from him, such as changes in posture, eye contact, or facial expressions. If he seems tense or uncomfortable when a certain topic is brought up, change the subject immediately. Topics like politics, religion, or strong personal views can easily lead to conflict. These are areas where people may have opposing views, and sometimes discussing them in too much detail can create unnecessary tension in the conversation. Even if you have strong opinions on politics or religion, it's important to recognize that it's not always the right time to share these views, especially when you're just beginning to converse or trying to build a friendly relationship. Avoiding pulling the conversation into these sensitive topics will help both of you feel more at ease and avoid unnecessary stress. Tip: if he spontaneously brings up a sensitive topic like this, you can show respect and then redirect the conversation by asking about interests or activities you both share. This helps alleviate the tension. Money is a very sensitive topic, not only because it may bring up financial worries, but also because it can make people feel embarrassed or insecure. When talking to him, avoid bringing up money matters unless you fully understand his financial situation. Questions like "how much do you earn?" or "how do you save?" might make him uncomfortable and could lead to stress in the conversation. Instead, focus on other topics such as relaxing activities, personal hobbies, or fun stories that don't involve money. This will keep the conversation light and prevent negative feelings. Tip: if you want to talk about finances, pay attention to how you approach the subject. Instead of asking directly, you might share your personal thoughts on money management and ask if he has any tips or suggestions. This way, you can approach the topic without making him feel pressured. When conversing, avoid making negative remarks or criticizing anything related to him. Comments like "did you really do that?" or "why do you think like that?" can make him feel judged, which can cause stress in the conversation. Instead of criticizing, try to focus on positive aspects and create a comfortable space for him to express his views. This will help him feel safe and more likely to open up. Tip: when you want to share your opinion on something he did, try using a gentle and positive approach. For example, "I think the way you did that is interesting. Could you share more about how you thought about it?" This shows respect and encourages sharing instead of criticizing. To avoid stressful topics, understanding and reading his emotions is crucial. If you notice he's beginning to feel tense or uncomfortable with a certain subject, don't hesitate to change the direction of the conversation immediately. Sometimes, topics may not be the issue, but if the conversational space isn't suitable, they can make the other person feel uneasy. Tip: when he seems unwilling to talk about a topic, you can gently redirect the conversation and find a topic that makes him feel more comfortable. Show concern for his feelings by asking, "Can we talk about something else? I want to make you feel comfortable." Finally, avoiding stressful topics is an important skill in communication, especially when you want to create a comfortable and friendly environment. When conversing with him, always be mindful of his feelings and comfort level, and avoid sensitive or overly pressuring topics. Choosing light, positive, and accessible topics will help you create an enjoyable and easy conversation while strengthening the connection and understanding in your relationship. Ways 6. Knowing how to compliment naturally. The art of building strong connections. Complimenting is one of the best ways to maintain good relationships and create a connection between two people. When talking to someone, especially him, knowing how to compliment naturally will help build a positive and friendly atmosphere. However, giving compliments is not always easy. Complimenting unnaturally or excessively can make the listener feel uncomfortable, while giving too few compliments may fail to make a good impression. So, how can you compliment him in a natural and sincere way? Let's explore the following principles to help you give compliments properly and effectively during a conversation. When complimenting, you don't need to wait for major successes or outstanding achievements to offer praise. Small things in daily life can also be great opportunities to show appreciation for him. For example, you can compliment him on small details in his behavior, such as kindness, listening skills, or how he handles a difficult situation. Tip: pay attention to the small things he does in his everyday life. A compliment like "you always know how to make people feel comfortable, that's amazing" will make him feel appreciated and understood. Complimenting small but sincere things will help create a more intimate and comfortable feeling in the conversation. This makes him feel natural and more willing to share, as he recognizes that you're seeing him in a positive light and appreciating his good qualities. One common mistake when complimenting is overdoing it, making the compliment feel insincere or overly obvious. While your intention may be good, if the compliment is exaggerated or doesn't match reality, he may feel uncomfortable or even doubt your sincerity. For example, instead of saying "you're the best person I've ever met," you can say "you really know how to handle this situation so well, I'm really impressed with how you work." This compliment is sincere, and it shows respect for his abilities and effort without making him feel overhyped or unreal. Tip: compliment him on things you genuinely find impressive or valuable. When the compliment comes from sincerity, it feels more natural and helps create a stronger connection. Complimenting doesn't have to focus only on remarkable achievements, but can also highlight the efforts and process he has gone through. Acknowledging his perseverance and dedication helps create a positive environment, encouraging him to continue growing. For example, instead of only complimenting him on the result of a project, you can praise the process he went through, his commitment, and dedication to the task. "I'm really impressed with how patient you were in solving this problem. It's not an easy thing to do," is a motivating compliment that makes him feel recognized for his effort. Tip: pay attention to parts of his work or life where he has invested a lot of effort. We often see the final results, but behind that is a long process that requires patience and focus. When complimenting, how you deliver the compliment is very important. If your compliment feels unnatural or predicted, it may make the conversation lose its natural flow. Make sure to express your praise comfortably, as a natural part of the conversation rather than as an effort to please. When complimenting him, use your language naturally. For example, "You really have a knack for that, I'm very impressed," instead of compliments that sound insincere, such as "Oh, you are the best, no one is like you." Naturalness will create a comfortable atmosphere for both of you. Tip: let your compliment come from your true feelings about him. Don't try to make the compliment sound grand while ignoring the sincerity factor. Complimenting isn't just about praise, but also about showing gratitude and respect for what he does. Compliments from the heart, showing appreciation for him, will have a much stronger connection than any superficial praise. For example, "Thank you for always supporting me when I'm struggling. Your help really means a lot to me," is a sincere compliment that shows gratitude and appreciation. This compliment not only makes him happy, but also strengthens the bond between you two. Tip: complimenting sincerely will deepen the relationship between you and him. Always remember that complimenting isn't just about words, it's also about expressing gratitude and respect for the other person. In conclusion, knowing how to compliment naturally is an art that helps build a closer and friendlier relationship. Complimenting the small things, avoiding exaggeration, and focusing on his efforts instead of just his achievements will create a positive space in the conversation. At the same time, using sincere, natural compliments from the heart will bring long-lasting effects and strengthen the bond in your relationship. Way 7. Let the conversation develop naturally. Build a connected and comfortable relationship. One of the most important aspects of any conversation, especially when chatting with him, is letting the conversation develop naturally. Forcing the conversation in a certain direction or creating a forced atmosphere can make people feel uncomfortable and distant. Instead, letting the conversation flow naturally will help build a deeper relationship and a comfortable environment for both parties. So how can you let the conversation flow naturally, comfortably, and without feeling forced? Here are some tips to help you let the conversation develop naturally and build a closer connection with him. One of the most important factors in letting a conversation develop naturally is creating space for the other person to share without feeling pressured. Let the conversation not be limited by survey-like questions or requiring specific answers. Instead, encourage him to share his thoughts, feelings, and stories without fear of being interrupted or criticized. Tip: don't try too hard to control the conversation. Instead, create a comfortable space for him to speak naturally. You can start the conversation with an open question like, "How have you been lately?" or "Is there anything interesting this week that you'd like to share?" This will help him feel natural and not like the conversation is being controlled. One thing that can break the natural flow of conversation is overthinking the choice of topic. In reality, there doesn't have to be a perfect or special topic to start a conversation. What matters is that you can share natural thoughts or feelings without preparing too much. When you feel comfortable with what you're saying, he will also feel more at ease to engage in the conversation. Comfortable, natural conversations don't necessarily require specific topics, they simply need to be an open exchange, without constraints. Tip: instead of trying to create special or unique topics, let the conversation flow naturally by starting with small things in life, such as personal hobbies, favorite movies, or a typical day in his life. Another key factor in letting a conversation develop naturally is the ability to listen and respond naturally. Instead of just waiting for your turn to speak, truly focus on what he's sharing. Provide honest and unforced responses, showing that you care about what he's saying. Tip: to respond naturally, you can repeat a few words or short sentences to show that you're listening, such as, "Oh, that's interesting," or "You're right, I think so too." Simple responses like these help the conversation flow naturally, without feeling forced. Moreover, when you listen sincerely and respond naturally, he will also feel more comfortable sharing his thoughts and feelings. To let the conversation develop naturally, you need to subtly encourage him to share his personal perspectives. Instead of asking only closed-ended questions, you can ask open-ended questions to give him the opportunity to express his views. Open-ended questions not only make the conversation richer but also help him feel that you genuinely care about his thoughts. Tip: questions like, "What do you think about this?" or "Could you share more about your perspective?" help the conversation remain flexible and give him the opportunity to express his views comfortably. Remember that when asking questions, it's important to give him time to think and respond naturally, rather than forcing the conversation to go in a particular direction. When you express your feelings naturally in a conversation, you'll be able to build a closer and stronger bond with him. Share your thoughts and emotions honestly and don't hesitate to express joy, worry, or excitement about things happening in your life. Tip: don't be afraid to express your emotions. For example, if you feel happy talking about a particular topic, let that joy show in your tone and attitude. This will make the conversation more lively and natural. A conversation develops naturally when each person has space to express their viewpoints and opinions. Don't try to manipulate or control every conversation according to your will. Respect his contributions and let the conversation be a two-way exchange. When he feels free to share, the conversation will unfold naturally and without constraints. Tip: to prevent the conversation from being manipulated, maintain a balance between sharing and listening. Avoid speaking too much or always offering advice, and allow him the space to talk about his own thoughts. Finally, to let the conversation develop naturally, the most important thing is to create a comfortable space, encourage sharing from both sides, and avoid forcing everything in a particular direction. Let the conversation unfold naturally by showing sincere interest, listening carefully, and asking open-ended questions. With these steps, your conversation will become more engaging and develop easily, creating a connected and understanding relationship. Conclusion: conversation is an art, and when you know how to apply the right methods, it can become a powerful bridge to connect with others, especially with him. To ensure a conversation flows naturally and comfortably, you need to create space for sharing, listen attentively, and subtly find common ground. This not only helps you build a deeper relationship, but also makes the other person feel comfortable and understand that you genuinely care about them. Additionally, avoiding stressful topics and knowing how to compliment naturally will make the conversation more pleasant and connected. More importantly, let the conversation develop naturally without being bound by rigid expectations or rules. Remember that conversation is not a competition or a performance, but an opportunity to understand the other person and express your true feelings. When you create a natural and comfortable conversation space, you not only build a relationship easily, but also make others feel respected and fond of you more. So, don't hesitate to try applying these methods in your next conversations, and you'll find that each exchange becomes more enjoyable and complete than ever. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you for taking the time to watch till the end. I hope you found some valuable lessons, and these insights will help you in your love journey. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more exciting content in the future. I truly appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Wishing you always filled with love and happiness.